well. And this would have made the map more interesting. We are seeing a lot less ancient picks these days. And I say these days, like it feels like it changed month to month. Some tournaments it would be like a lot of ancient. Very recently in the challenger stage, very few ancient games played, at least in my memory. And I'm not surprised to see it coming back in, especially with some of the Legends teams who are particularly good on it. And like teams like Cloud9 wouldn't get to play it versus some other competition, but will probably have it pop up if they have a veto against Navi.
Right.
A best of 3 in these situations. Liquid is another team, of course. So, okay, well, 2-0 into 2-2 right here. Liquid will be feeling very good about this. They had such a slow start on the first day in the first map.
Leash burning, done.
Oh, and he's gone. He was on the outside of a smoke. That was a very unfavorable molly spread.
He put out the forward one, but it's that second incendiary that just burns him to a crisp. Perfecto jumping into the cave. Nitro at the helm of this. Another missed shot from Simple. 2 rounds where he could have dropped one on the entry. Instead, it's space given over to Team Liquid. They will, of course, again, not have Cave, but OC best Simple. And then Yakinder comes wide with the kill, but the Cave player's replaced. Electronic right there when he needs to be. He's going to keep this one nice and even. Nap will go for the safe plant. Spam cannot find its target. A deep ramp position for the Opera here, and it's a nice start from OC. To get the better of Simple within the first 5 rounds, op to op. It's a good look for the North American. I think, you know, one of the pieces that is still questionable within Team Liquid, can he truly be a trophy lifter? Well, right now, the impact's made. Electronic, he's gonna press in slightly, flash out. It's desperate for OC. He doesn't follow through. This is a 10-second stick. The smoke's soon to fade, but yeah, he's gonna have to start taking some random shots. And sure enough, just can't land it. A 10-second defuse comes through from Navi as OC just gets, you know, completely relegated to irrelevancy.
We see that smoke come down on the banana, and that's the most important smoke on the retake. And unfortunately, a lot of the best post-plant spots just will be one smoke and you're out of the round. So what's really important on these T-side hits, especially when it comes to B, and a big reason why teams are going B less is because it's so easy to retake with a little bit of utility. It's a very scary position for the Ts coming in to simply put the bomb down in high number situations like 4v4. And sometimes it's too hard to try to force those kills to happen.
Forcing it again. Ooh, lane side. Yakinder's gonna get something back. Dives through smoke. Oh, almost catches that Famas off, but Sumdai Young's gonna retreat instead. So some map control for Liquid.
Yeah, this is wild. There's still 2 CTs pushed in mid. A is completely open at the moment.
Bomb sitting outside of it. Bit softened slightly. Sumdai Young has slid into the corner of Cave. That could catch Yakinder off.
Yeah, so if Yakinder sees the shoulder spot, then he's gonna forget about Sumdai Young in the corner. So I think it looks like Perfecto just wants to give him something to...
Yeah. Setting him up.
Yeah.
Ooh, but not even a shoulder peek. They just both go into the no man's land. Find Yakinder. And OC slides out. No contact here. Temple player's about to get the angle. Bit, yeah, easy pickup. Bomb down as well. So now Navi, they can just all start coming over. We saw Naf on an entry here get good position into the CT spawn he once went, but this time it's Bit to come through with those closing 2 frags, and we've got Navi back to winning rounds.
In the Legend stage, there are certain few players that have to be talked about because they can literally drag their teams to wins. And we celebrate them, and sometimes we celebrate them a bit too much because this is a team game, but their impact is so far above everybody else's that it actually matters. And those players are Simple, Shiro, Zaiwu, and Yakinder for Team Liquid. And I know that some of the rhetoric between some of the top coaches is simply that they put a huge amount of their game plan into countering that player, the guy who is the opener, the guy with the highest efficacy. And if they, I imagine, if Navi wanted to play Ancient today, it would be trying to figure out how Yakinder plays and defaults outside the B site to kill him as many times as possible. We've seen him crossing and dying on certain timings already in this match, and now he's just been hunted down, trying to chill in a corner where he sometimes lingers off to when the dust settles.
Electronic gonna hold that mid walk out. Nade, perfect. Sets up Electronic for the easy close here. Middle does not belong to Liquid. And a Liege, you'd think, destined for death. So 5 up from Navi. Nice little recovery so far since we saw those couple of round wins come through from Liquid. But a Liege will not go down for free. Gonna bring Perfecto with him. Another duel towards the top of mid is damage, but nicely done from Sumdai Young. Comes out, catches Yakinder in a heads-up duel versus that AK-47, the one piece of Liquid that was meant to pop off, just sent to the dirt instead.
I'd like to see how much they're relying on spawns here, because we're seeing so many fast mids from Team Liquid running right into heavy mid control from Navi. And sometimes, even if you know there's a really heavy threat, like let's say it's long control and Dust 2, 3 CTs are there. If you have good enough spawns, sometimes you're prepared to try to fight it. But a lot of the time, you want to avoid a pack of CTs if possible. Come in late, because the later the round goes on, the less smokes are active, and the less chance that the CTs are in weird positions. But look at the fast B rush, man.
Simple lands this one time. Damage in, but still down, and no support here barring the cave. Sumdai Young again aggressive on this flank, and with that little gap, he could very well catch them off. Nitro, ooh, now they're stuck inside sight. Team Liquid, they're gonna fight forward. There's no chance to go back. Bit, it's just the one and done. Electronic falls right after, and Naf is putting his name at the top of the board here for Liquid. It's a bunch of damage on Elysian Nafly, but it's not the kills that Navi need in that fight, that round. Incredibly electric.
Yeah, and they did a good job at transposing into the back lane's control there to that's one of the remedies to the problems of the B site, where it's so easy to retake. Well, now if you take out the back lanes and you can play there, it slows the retake down so much, even if you're not actually back there. In this situation, they were forced to fight in those lanes, so it looked a little uncomfortable. Couple of small timings and a couple of low players here from Liquid. So yes, that situation could have flipped on its head, but they got Simple, where he only got a leg shot off, didn't get a kill on the site hold, and then SDY on the flank, he even gets smoked out in his position, gets one kill and taken down, and feels like he has to join the fight as soon as possible, because that same sort of retake smoke, of course the shoe's on the other foot, but the same retake smoke that would stop you on Banana in the post plant, well, he can't stand behind that for 15 seconds and expect to comfortably retake. So just some good awareness here from Nafly in pretty much the only position he could be in to do most of the heavy lifting for Team Liquid, and they get a third.
Back to 3 members on lane.
So yeah,
burning nades.
This is what I thought they would try to do more, a little bit. Wow, okay.
It works. Hell, it works. They get away 2 separate fights, one in middle, one on lane, and damage on Yakinder. So now tasked to entry with only 40 health. Simple still posted, and down he goes. A nice comfortable 5 versus 3 from Navi. So despite Team Liquid's best efforts of getting aggressive last round, Navi fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, so they don't go for aggressive mid control this time, Liquid, but they still go for aggressive B control into a lot of nades. So it's a good call from Navi, but I think the best part of all was it wasn't Navi initially running out of everything off of spawn. They waited for a second, let Liquid think that they had free back lanes, and then they had Electronic even push down mid again, which I didn't see coming. So they found an in-between timing, a very particular moment there for Navi to counter Liquid's aggression. Liquid seems so adamant about getting something early for free, even if it's really scrappy, which I think makes a ton of sense on Ancient. You know, you want to respect nades and respect really good teams, but at the same time, some of your best fights are just at the beginning of the round, and if you get away with them, which is just on Ancient, you're expecting to lose a lot of your T rounds. So if you just get away with them, you give yourself like a 45% chance, but it's someone like Nafly or Yakinder running at them, or a Liege. Sometimes it's worth that risk. Sometimes it is. I wonder what Liquid will make of this situation now. They've been dealt with pretty well. I think they've given up, Navi have given up 3 rounds, and Liquid are probably proud of that. But for the most part, when it comes to getting in the way of their defaults, it feels like Navi, the game plan is translating really well at the moment to their execution. I think they're meeting themselves halfway, and they probably feel pretty good. Look at the one loss that Navi have. It's versus Cloud9 on Mirage. An excellent game from Cloud9, and Navi they didn't destroy Vitality, but I think they were kind of clearly the better team by the time we got to 3rd overtime. They were the team who were always in the lead.
Every match point.
Every match point, and a very good map for them overall. So certainly not playing badly. Of course, it's their first Legends loss in 3 majors now.
Right.
So not exactly the same standard that they've set for themselves.
I think also, though, you look at some of the, head-to-heads, right? Navi play Vitality, who have now powered up, a Cloud9 that's been powered up, and now it's versus Liquid, somebody that, a roster that everybody would expect to be making playoffs with their recent form. So Navi with their hands full. looking mortal, but also giving us really good matches every step of the way so far. Nice to see these 9 rounds go back and forth. Nice to see Navi clearly not slipping by allowing Ancient coming through. And it's a good chance to reset Team Liquid and send them down to the economic dumps. We'll have Ykinder on a Tech 9. What could be, what's expected to be, the heaviest of hitters, suddenly muted somewhat. Oh, he eats the flashbang from his teammate as well. So Ykinder was looking to pop in with that, and for now he'll have to wait. Electronic, no resistance, he'll slot into middle.
Yeah, he's got a good piece of cover here from Simple inside a donut, able to stare into elbow. It might be hard spots to try to figure out here for Team Liquid. But this is the most comfortable they've been kind of 30 seconds into a round with 5 alive.
SDY's been taking on a lot of responsibility with this cave play. He's been coming at them at the start of rounds when the timing feels right. And now this opening has provided Simple a chance to posture through middle. But that flash will have him move back. Of course, shooting a bullet, going to warn Team Liquid as to his presence. And when it comes to Simple, you never really know where he's got off to.
Yeah.
So, of course,
I feel
as he does, instantly pulls back.
I feel like he was actually scoping there on purpose because they were incredibly suspicious that Liquid were still defaulting out of here. And if he really wanted to just search out a kill, he could have just hard scoped and waited. And then what he got was a response to confirm to the team that, yeah, they do want to hold control of this and they're trying to hide from us.
SDY being sent in. Clean kill into Elige. That may have been without head armor, but we've got Nitro back in with the refrag at a man advantage to Liquid. We're going to get that follow-up with the utility. Electronic tucked back onto the side of short. He'll go down. Nitro, multi-kill, but Simple given a chance and hits Nitro as he flies across the sky. He's lucky to be alive. Ooh. And Simple, he's going to keep tearing them up, but not with the no-scope. Nap to the clutch, bested by bit. Piece by piece, Navi press into that B site, and Team Liquid, despite the plant, despite the follow-through with lesser HP, they will fall in a clutch that could be critical. The economy's gone.
Second shot was cute, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So wall bangs, extra damage, extra kills here. In an open lane because Liquid come in low in utility. Of course, they just have 2 pistols, otherwise that would have definitely been smoked out. They really relied on this one Molotov to stop anybody from rotating in. Once they killed Electronic, they thought they had a few seconds here, but they thought wrong. And Navi won a key one. That was one that would have saved the economy for Liquid. We're back on a save now.
Maui Snake making it clear on the desk. You know, Team Liquid should be shooting for more than this in terms of T rounds. I think he said 5 or 6. Of course, chances improve on the CT side, but you want that wide margin of error. Economy playing against them. They'll try again to pop into this A site. Now, it is somewhat understaffed. We've got just Bit doing his thing. But a smoke grenade comes down in front of Team Liquid, and of course Navi already pressing Electronic into lane, see absolutely nothing at this B site. And as long as there's no mid presence, you know, this is a safe spot for Electronic to keep mid. These A players, the 2 of them, should be on high alert.
And we'll see about the potency of a full A hit right now. I mean, Navi, while they do seem to know it's not B, they are still tied up at the thought that it could be Team Liquid holding really far back. They're actually giving them a lot of respect here. So 2 on site ready to hold.
They're coming through. There's enough utility here for Team Liquid to just scramble the defense. We see that sail in. Bit, he's going to catch him. At least the front runner. 2 in for Bit. Perfecto finds his 1. And Naf, that solo Galil, will sure enough do damage, but not enough to press the bomb forward. And by the time, of course, that these kills come through, we've got Donut occupied, Simple's coming over to feast, and Naf, oh, he'll have to pull off the most miraculous of clutches. 15 seconds. A bomb plant, not even looking free. Sumdai Young slides in. Navi, it's an 8-3 CT lead. And Team Liquid, well, now it's a buyback, of course, but they would have loved to find some footing in that B side, excuse me, A.
Yeah, it's definitely a novel idea to think, okay,
just nothing.
You think it's going to be the A site. Why have an op? You know, just keep 2 riflers there. Much more versatile on rifles to work with each other. It's easier to throw grenades and still be safe. And you could play much more active in the site positions and not have to fall out like we saw Simple get caught trying to get back into Temple in a previous round. So again,
Kinder on Cave.
Well, they got a very effective flash here to stop SDY from peeking.
So Ykinder has been bested. Currently the bottom fragger for Liquid, 3 kills only.
My God.
Full white, no pressure.
That was a crazy way to approach that. Just ate the full-on flash, didn't move, and there was no peek as well.
He's waiting for that headshot. But much like last time, the moment he presses in, he's going to get both Sumdai Young and Perfecto.
Okay, now this is the best position that Liquid have found themselves in. They finally won mid, they finally got B control, and they have the top part of Cave as well. So now we can see what they've always wanted to do in this game.
Bit of utility pressure towards the site. Remember, bomb hasn't been picked up, so that's going to make things weird, especially by losing one of the A players. You'd think Nav has to go for it. OC is going to grab it instead. Nav still just trying to slot in. There's 2 CTs, of course, once upon a time here inside A main. And Nav's going to take some chip damage. So despite Team Liquid having good positioning, it's cost them a liege. It's cost them all some health.
Yeah, but they got rotations. Now Perfecto's the one guy here with SDY. He's low. SDY tucked in the site. Yeah, he's got to worry about smoke, and he's getting spammed now.
Awkward, but all good. Rotates come over. 15 seconds left. OC with a bit of desperation here to clear out that back corner, and as Nitro presses in, he's going to get pinched. Just chopped down. Sumdai Young holds on, and this one from Team Liquid's what felt like best position to a totally flat result.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, we can't be surprised to see like Navi not playing deep aggressive control and everything all the time, but they stayed alive just like Liquid. So failure to get that 5v4, and for Liquid, failure to do anything with the map control. We have Simple in a brand new position. Of course, he's the guy who rotates more than any other CSGO pro in the world, and he does find ways on CT side to find new openings, so it's hard to predict he's going to be over there. I mean, a passive angle, sitting on the A, holding A main control with a teammate on a rifle as well, and Nafly successfully gets them back, but by the time all of these antics are done playing out, there is just no more time left on the clock to go forward with a full strength exec with lots of utility, and Liquid falter because of it. So I'd say that's the first time we've seen Navi really push to level 2. The rounds that Liquid won, quite simple rounds, especially with the full-on A takes, and they've still always got that. Again, that's incredibly meta at the moment. CT teams are still figuring out how to best deal with teams that like going A a lot. We saw one example of how that could have been in the last round, even though it was just versus the default. And with a few rounds remaining in the half now, I think Navi have enough data where they can really make sensible decisions about what Liquid want to try to do, and they also have some confidence about the way they've won the rounds versus Team Liquid's apparent game plan. And Ykinder has not been able to get out of this half of the map what he really wants to and needs to. Oh, wow.
Naf, though. Little X factor.
Yeah, that's something.
Singular AK. Sumdai Young finally going to go down. He's been very successful in that cave pressure. Stifling Team Liquid outside of the site. Simple. Okay. A half-second delayed, but still puts down Ykinder. And don't forget, what was once a single AK now becomes 2 in the hands of a liege. They're going to work this one forward. We've got 3 CTs inside site now present, seen. Navi on high alert. Ramp not really under pressure just yet. Nitro, in fact, going down, opens up a push for Perfecto. He can go deep, and now suddenly Team Liquid just trying to charge out. It's only OC on the D to deliver. Team Liquid going to give Navi that 10th CT win.
Well, finally, they get kind of like a patient demo kill there from Nafly to punch the spam back, but it's on a round where they just don't have any guns behind it. Would have loved to have a full buy there to see the 5v4 play out with a much weaker cave and one of the B guys down, but at the moment, Navi so reliable on most parts of the map. Electronic has his mark on like 3 rounds inside of mid with 2 Ks. Simple, while missing shots earlier in the game, it's just already started to heat up. And SDY and Bit have done a great job here on CT side of B.
Nade again, though. Ykinder playing with 20 health. Safe to say he's been smothered in this half?
Completely. I mean, when Maui talked about his peaks, I think he has the best peaks of any pro, period, and I think other people are learning from the way he peaks. But yeah, in this game, he's been fully countered. Late re-aggression out of mid, out of nowhere. Elige would tell you, as Perfecto swings out with no control of the B side. That's why he was open to this angle, because it's like, why would he take this risk if I have teammates who are out here?
Ooh, Sumdai Young. Wow. Nice clean double kill, and he'll continue to do what he has done this entire CT half.
Yeah.
Just dominate on the shelf. Time and time again inside of caves, whether he's the one peeking out. I feel like the only time we've seen Sumdai Young actually get punished or not make a play that could have been traded out by everybody else, it's that one time Nafly gets the spam through the wood. Other than that, this guy on your screen has delivered. He's right up there alongside Electronic, Simple, Bit. And with his future on this roster kind of unknown, this would be an excellent time for him to really just, you know, remind us what he can do.
Yeah, he's super solid. I mean, when we look at the Vitality game, listen, SCY is not going to get that many kills across a lot of matches, but if you have a pair of eyes, you can see that he's doing a lot. In that Vitality match as an entry on T side, I think they lose the match without a few of these rounds that he got. So, and also a lot more active than the last time I watched Navi play Ancients with him on it. Look at him go.
Again, over and over.
So much freedom, just taking liberties here. He's trusting himself as an individual.
It feels like all of Navi have kind of found that mentality towards the end of this half. Team Liquid were fighting far more successfully.
They're getting dusted.
Dude, just smoked.
Is he done?
Yeah, because of the nade. Goes for the flash, gets caught out, but I mean, done his job and then some, and safe to say. It's a pistol round away from a potential comeback. We're gonna have to see whether Navi's aggression and sharp individual prowess can follow through here in round 16. So far, so good. We've got OC removed from it. Elige answers back, and he did, of course, spot that cross, but Bit smoked away. And so, Navi pause. Elige will not. Starts to play forward. Bomb's been dropped towards the top of middle. Looks good for Liquid so far, and that's gonna continue to trend their way. 3 members left of Liquid, all trying to get towards middle now. So we'll have Perfecto and Electronic fighting from both sides of mid. Man disadvantage, equalized, counter-terrorist in the... It's pretty lackluster, but when he hits the playoffs, all of a sudden OC shows up.
That was the weird part, and it's always nice to know that you've got a teammate that may be playing badly, but not because of the pressure.
Right.
Because the pressure one is one of the hardest problems that you have to deal with on a human level, you know? So not having to think about that is nice.
Give him some runway and maybe he takes off. And it feels like at the moment, Team Liquid, they need to take off. We get back into the action. Nitro's rejoined the server. To be fair, also down there with you, Kinder and OC, but that is what we come to expect. So Liquid, let's see what needs to be a near flawless defensive half here on Ancient. Very fun that we get to play Ancient between these two teams. We know that the recency of Team Liquid's success has been on this map, and Elige will chop down a couple players, and then suddenly Navi bring it back. This is unarmored pistols, in with 2 kills, an open A site essentially. They'll get tagged from the back, so that slows them down, and it creates a moment for OC to start to go towards A, but he wants to clear top mid first and foremost. They're gonna forfeit the bomb site. They're gonna give them the plant. And what's really weird is they also give them space to post plant. Positions taken up from Navi. They are not sure where to go, so they actually just end up floating inside of the site, and that leads OC into an easy first pick, and then the last 2 follow suit. Team Liquid gonna grab a 5th. The CT side gets through these unarmored pistols with only 2 deaths.
So they made a mistake there and lost to 2 kills and mid-control the pistols. And they just respected that fact. They were like, okay, well, as long as we don't get lurked on once again, yes, we have to get a bomb down, but nobody's going to get a lucky kill and make this a 3v2 in their favor. And they end up winning, and that's kind of fine. This is just a solid round from Navi, where they make some money and do some damage. And I think this is where the real story begins. First rifle round in the second half. The Liquid will kind of set the tone for how possible this comeback could feel.
Quick util pressure bottom mid. What was quick 2 players pushing, but abruptly halting for a moment. We're going to get an affinity to the A site out of the gate. Wasting no time here with this one. All of a sudden, Electronic looks for the headshot inside of the bomb site. We will get OC not on the op, but Elige is here with him. Molotov applies pressure to what was Elige's intended position, and now he's got himself a duel that he will indeed pick up. Nitro, in the meanwhile, gonna find himself 2 kills, 1 inside sight, and then 1 dealing with the mid flank, but that's not the only mid flank. We've got Perfecto back over there, and Simple dies inside sight as Yakinder comes to support. I thought for a second Navi had that setup so scrambled that Liquid could have just been trounced. The fact that Nitro comes back in with 2 kills, Elige can find a pocket as his first position's burned out. All works out for Team Liquid, but you can't say there wasn't a chance there for Navi.
They had some good flashbangs and they got the first kill, so it felt like, yeah, the site could tumble over. And Elige also set up on the back at default, but didn't have his smoke out in time to put out the molly, so had to fall back to the L-bend. And then when fighting with Nitro, they had to get 1 smoke kill as well. Now, unfortunately, still a problem with this map is that position behind the donut smoke is still really powerful because you can still get a deep angle behind the smoke on wherever the bomb can be planted, which means there's a lot of the times, even though you're behind the smoke, you can reasonably expect that a kill like this could take place. It is a very normal angle. It's like if you're in CT spawn and they're planting the bomb, Inferno B site, you kind of know that angle, whether you can see it or not. And that makes it very easy to stop. And you're kind of suppressing fire as they cross onto the site, but they absolutely have to cross that line of sight. There's no way to jump over it. There's no way to comfortably time when you do it. And so while that smoke is up for 15 seconds, you've got to make a move, and that's when you can die. Liquid do a great job of making up for the fact that they lose their first player to some good flashes from Navi. And I think they also actually read into that really well, expecting something to lean towards A in an early rifle round. And like as I was talking about in the first half, it's becoming very meta for that to come in. So I'm not surprised that Navi start with that idea, full on A hit.
Navi going to burn through a timeout too. Getting a couple of them in order for Blade to speak his mind, and he's got a lot to say. Legend of the game. One of the best talent scouts, I think, in CSGO. The amount of players that he's kind of popped up into even the Navi junior camp, right? That's one of the academy teams that actually has quite some input from the likes of Blade. He's just farming talent. We see that come through.
Yeah, Navi in some ways just like the GOAT organization. Like their academy roster's done so well. Blade kind of, we've seen him Blade with the academy players in person, helping them.
So. Damage. Bit. Looks to take a glance into Donut. Sure enough, Nitro's in between smokes at the moment. And Elige is going to offer up an easy first opening, but Bit, oh, he started to sprint, and that gives Nitro a good chance to react pretty quickly. All these Tech 9s and Desert Eagles are going to get chewed up as they tried to press into the A-site split. It's just closed for the time being. Back-to-back rounds from Navi at this A-site. Back-to-back success stories for Team Liquid. Even Nitro being given a chance, but Sumdai Young, could have got himself a second Deeg. Frag Grenade's gonna make this one even easier. I'm sorry, Sumdai Young, your time is limited. However, bring them all with ya. He gets OC at the very least, but it's a 5-round lead for Navi now as Liquid get through upgraded pistols.
Yeah, those shots all matter. Those bounties are 5K per kill for SDY, so a couple of nice Deagle frags right there. And in terms of setting the tone, Liquid have sent the message here with the 2 rounds that we've seen. It was a nice hold versus the full rifle after starting off 4v5 into a very clean anti-ego round. And the game is, you know, it's a 5-round game now. So Navi with the full rifle once again. We'll see if the idea changes.
Bit's got the gap. Counter-terrorists press in, but before Nitro comes around the side, Elige finds the lineup. Yakinder just adding himself to the defensive line inside of top mid, but in doing so, whoa, had opened up the chance that someone goes through. So he didn't like that timing. Could have created a vacuum towards that B site for Navi. Now he's gonna do what he does, peeks off the lane, dies to Sumdai Young. Doesn't matter what side he's on, SDY's got his number tonight. And it's gonna have to be the B defense now. OC missed flick, Electronic presses in, gets caught with the nade in hand, and Elige is everywhere at the moment, finding himself inside B site. Naf gives cover on the cross. A grenade out for Elige is gonna keep Navi at bay, and the bomb gets dropped in the open. Elige, big moment, 3 frags to his name. And as Navi tried to turn attention to the opposite side of the map, they're met by the defense. They have their success somewhat, but in the end, it comes down to Simple.
Oh, he's got the bomb actually, 45 seconds. So Elige giving up this kill now means Simple has a chance to make this round possible. He has nades, so many nades literally all over the B site, and his teammates died right at the top of the choke point. So I'm going to assume that's on his mind here. And that's probably also on Team Liquid's. They have to make the decision as the round peels on. Did they run over towards the A site? Simple's trying to encourage this idea by not making any noise. And now he'll walk up, not find any fights just now.
He slides in.
Might be able to just put this bomb down. We'll see if they rush him.
Nitro comes out from the cave, applies pressure.
Ooh.
And there could have been a chance. You never know. Mahone talked about it on the desk prior to the game, right? Why Simple is considered the GOAT, despite maybe not the fullest cabinet in terms of achievements. It's just because every time you watch him, it feels like anything is possible.
Yeah, I mean, the cabinet is fucking full, man. It's just that it's just a major. But in terms of straight up trophies, MVPs at events he hasn't won, in terms of what we look at, I mean,
what's that picture?
Let's be real.
HLTV gives him like 15 MVP medals at one time. The backlog was overflowing. Yeah, it is just majors. The asterisk. From a 5-round lead to the 4.
Liquid looking for 9. Half guns here for Navi once again. I feel like everyone's pupils dilate on CT side. They just start drooling like, yes.
Yeah, it's the good shit.
Finally, I feel like I'm going to win some duels.
Yeah. The beating is over. Temporarily, at least, for Liquid. Last buy like this from Navi netted them nothing. Nav's found timing here, gonna crawl it up. It's being watched. Nitro's gonna come at this from the other end, sees the shadow. He finds Electronic. And Nitro certainly kicking it up a notch on this CT side. Coming into the donut, he's been problematic. He's basically been the speed bump into the A site as far as Navi are concerned. Elige lines him up, knocks him down, and Team Liquid continue to claw back these rounds, always leaning on the CT side, it seems, and giving time again for Yakinder and OC to join the fray. They're still steps behind, but so is Team Liquid. Navi, they'll have their another buy, and the gun rounds have always bode well for a kill or two.
Yeah, so now we have to see Navi start to work a little bit harder, and I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen more defaults out of Navi. We started with set plays, and the only reason is just because they don't get a feel for what kind of Liquid is coming at them. Like, they, in terms of fog of war, don't really know what's going on outside of B on these full rifle rounds. They aren't really seeing if the individuals are going to make any mistakes. And the way that they were countering Yakinder and really targeting him with SDY and the spams earlier on the first half, that really hasn't continued forward into this one. As we know, Yakinder's only going to get more and more curious as the rounds go on if he finds success as well. He's very good at building momentum and confidence, and that's when he's at its scariest. So if Navi want to transition into defaults after, I mean, that's fine. They can do that. But I feel like, yeah, they've given Liquid, I think, a way to feel good about the idea of coming back.
And I feel like OC specifically finally gets to swing with the big green.
And look at this. They're not being shy about it. We're looking at a full A coming in maybe in the next 30 seconds already.
Smoke to block off any lane support.
Oh, actually, they added a layer to this. So the mid control coming in, potentially donut split getting involved. No CT sitting here as well, and they didn't push B lanes on top of it.
Yeah, just like last time, Nitro in the middle.
Right now we talk about fog of war. Liquid do not know what's going on.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, little body blockage. Bit crosses over. Electronic can't follow suit, and that gives Nitro just that half second to actually come away with a kill. He wasn't even looking.
Oh, hello?
OC drops the ball, unscopes as they come across, and in that, we have Electronic recover from what was a little fumble inside of the donut. It's a 4 versus 2 with the bomb plant. Looked like Team Liquid were given a saving grace, but now it's just the full-on save instead.
Yeah, they also had Elige walk out of middle into the flank on donut and still died because of the awareness there from Navi. So a couple of errors, and honestly, it could have changed the round. But this is also just symptomatic of the fact that the Liquid at that point in the rounds, the full A is coming. But if we look at, you want to juxtapose the first half, every time a full A was coming for Navi, they always knew. They always knew they had B control, peeking down, holding, pushing down banana. This situation, Liquid were pretty much full passive, and they gave up mid control as well. And I thought when it was just a full A for Navi, it was going to be too one-dimensional. But when they involved that late mid split and there was no CT there, no electronic to stop them, they obviously turned that into a very successful play. And in creating confusion, you also, in creating insecurity, you weaken people's aim, right? It's sort of an intangible, but that is a huge value of splitting sites. It's a huge value of taking away vision from the CTs. Even if they didn't need it, they felt like they did, then they start missing.
Ooh, Nitro through smoke, over fire. Jumps into his position. Elige sees a little bit of skin towards that top shelf. It's electronic to half health. And he's not the only one. Bit's also been softened up. Felt like that could have been a bloodbath in middle off of the bat, but Navi just didn't get their hooks in, and Team Liquid immediately fade away. They'll leave this pocket of map control to Navi. I'll say lackluster nades out of Navi at the moment. They just threw out their second to last smoke. Only one left on electronic. A couple of Molotovs, of course, but it will not be that blanketed A bomb site that we saw in the round prior. And now OC's in a different spot. Scoped in from Donut. This should be the Opper's paradise. Wow. Sure enough. Easy breezy for OC, and Nitro's here to support, so he can come back at it for second servings, no doubt. The top red hold is also a couple of players, and this adaptation from Liquid goes swimmingly. Hello, Yakinder. Welcome to the kill feed, and no longer on the receiving end. It's Navi leaning on SDY out from A main. He'll find nothing, just like Navi. 0 kills for the T side this time, and Liquid yet again within 3.
Yeah, they left them guessing a little bit, and this is the added value of Yakinder's CT side. So most of the time he's going to start out by mollying deep control on B, maybe pushing into cave, but he'll late round come back to mid. Rarely ever will end up on the A site to support in any meaningful sense, but between B and mid, he actually splits up his time very liberally and isn't just a B player at all. So that won't be the first time that Yakinder shows face there. He is still 9 and 16, but clearly he's starting to wake up. Also, a nice minimum for map control is a position that OC held inside of Donut. That's the place where we see Shiro and Cloud9's very passive holds will be. And you can just cut off the mid rotation and help A at the same time and be an op on that side of the map, all just holding that one sliver.
Feels way more comfortable than just being in the A site, worried about Donut.
Absolutely.
You know, especially now with Temple's one door closed. Quick adaptation from Team Liquid from round 22 to 3. Nade will find some chip damage on Bit and Simple, and it's not going to shy Navi away from pressing into mid for the moment. But it's at the minute mark, and again, dwindling utility for Navi. They've still got some on the ground. Simple goes back to grab it. Sumdai Young's got the full belt, and we hadn't really seen Yakinder succeed from within this cave.
God. Wait, so he can watch the beat, yeah.
Naf slides in, Yakinder fully focused, but electronic. Insta headshot. Will Naf go unchecked? He's sitting inside the pocket. And he's waiting, and he hears it all. Ooh, this could be the X factor, but
Nitro
if they
dies.
lose everything in the meantime, then Naf's not even going to give a chance to shine. Bomb goes down, and that's perfect. It draws all the attention deep. Naf is not even needed. Elige and OC, 2 kills apiece as they rotate to the back line, and now Team Liquid within touching distance of Navi. It's a 2-round difference only.
Yeah, that was the most sloth energy I've ever seen right there. I mean, he slunk into the corner. He listened to everything happening in the jungle, reported everybody who was walking around making noise, called all of his teammates over, makes OC look like a god here, makes Elige look like a god, but they're in place because of Nafly's information. We had Yakinder die in the cave. It's fine if he wants to fight like that. Cave players have to be willing to be in untradeable spots sometimes, but him losing, that can spell disaster for Liquid as this game rolls on.
It's faster. Much quicker. And also diverted. From the B doors into the cave, they're going to test Yakinder. Naf is here to support it. As he just watched hanging from the vines last round. No ego. He's inside the corner of the cave. He's going to get himself both. No Yakinder needed. Naf gets his here in round 25, and Simple towards top mid, spots Elige. Ooh, tries to go for the taps, but Elige that much sharper, and Yakinder comes down from the ramp to just put a quick close to Navi's half-buy attempt. This T-side is starting to falter.
We were at 12-4, 12-3, of course, to start things out.
Oh, he tries.
Now it's literally Liquid's game to lose. I mean, this has been there's been one T round given over to Navi. That's it so far in this half.
And only one bomb plant.
Yeah.
And of all the rounds that Team Liquid end up winning, only twice have they had 2 or less players alive.
The main out here for Navi is Yakinder, most aggressive player on the team, will take a lot of opening fights, plays a very key position on the map. When we look at that first half, SDY getting 2 and 3 kills sometimes in Cave was the reason they won entire rounds. That will be the case for Yakinder. They're not going to be able to avoid him, and they might not even want to because he hasn't been doing a great job. So we'll see in these last final moments if it is going to be the case that he can make or break the situation. And Navi should probably be paying attention to this as a way to get back into the game, but they're going to have to do it off of a worse buy. We're not going to have an up here for Simple or anything like that. But slight concessions with the utility overall. But as far as Liquid are concerned, they've got a reasonably good bank account. OC 8,600, Elige 10K, Naflight 10K. They have a buffer.
Now all of a sudden, you know, this tale of Team Navi here in the Legend stage is one of Vitality nearly coming back, and Navi having to, you know, close eventually after 10 match points, those 3 OTs. We look at Cloud9, a successful 16-14 comeback as well, and now Team Liquid bouncing into the exact same narrative. So Navi hunting a close.
So what Yakinder does here when he pushes Cave, he keeps an eye on elbow late into the round. This is something unique that he does just more aggressively than everyone else. See how much he's peeking and taking risk here, and he'll keep it smoked as well to make sure that any kind of late play towards mid gets shut down. It's really important that Navi were thinking about this just now. Now they're reset and wondering what's been pushed, and he will continue to get curious. And unlike the round that they did lose, the one in this half, this time Liquid have full deep B control with information. So even if it's an A play late, they're going to find out about it.
Kinder sees the presence from middle. Doorway will be smoked off on B, so a second. So much room for Yakinder made, of course, that OC gets drawn into the gunfight and delivers that easy pickup onto Bit. Yakinder slides out, finds Electronic, who's trying to pressure himself through the utility here because Navi are just grasping for anything. They can't get middle, they can't get outdoors. Everything is a struggle for Navi to push, so it's going to come down to a little bit of X factor. Maybe 2 players just take a swing at A. But as quickly as they walked into main, they fall back. Maybe making sound, trying to sell it to the donut setup that could have been in position. But honestly, no time. They walk it too far back. Naf has found himself a little cubby to play off of. And it's all good here for Team Liquid.
Ironically enough, that's a round that Yakinder wins off of information, where he also just gets a kill, but he does that without really having to frag anybody. It just makes it more convincing. It makes the round look like it's over a little bit earlier on, and now it's a tie game between Navi and Liquid. The buy will come in once again here for Navi because they saved a couple of guns, but now the money just gets so much more dangerous to spend because one eco and it's match point. Liquid got to be feeling better, and they answered again. One of their only kind of problems with the information outside of B.
They're going to try to press through again. Maybe giving Navi all they need. Nitro keeps it clean. Fire on the bomb site to make sure nobody's in that spot, but it's Simple with an open cave door, only momentarily. That will not stop Elige. Jumping over, electronic pressures from the other side. They know where Navi's at, but Team Liquid still scrambling to get this defuse. Reload finds it. Simple can't stop this time. It's a defuse.
Round on. They've got this 29th round. They're in the power position. They can read into the money of Navi, and they have just so many quality rounds won here on the CT side.
We've got a cache of flashes left in the spawn, and it's a fast one out towards mid yet again. Navi gunning for OT. Elige welcomes back some spam. And we've seen Bit press in. Remember, that one time he got into this corner, it drew all of Liquid off of that B site. It created what was a perfect vacuum for Navi's offense. And they're going to try what looks like that exact same play again. Bit not into Red Room yet, but Elige is also giving him the possibility.
Nitro consegue a kill. Navi consegue a segunda kill, Perfecto devolve o Electronic, 3x3, olha aí, eu tô falando, o time da Navi é duro, é osso duro de roer, 3x3, tem Perfecto, Lelex, Sad Boy, não tem o Simple, né? Quem vai ter que resolver aí é o time da Navi sem o Simple.
Mas
nesse
ali...
último round. Tem o Yekindar, o OC, que não estavam bem na partida, os dois estão exatamente no 14/19, ali os dois com o mesmo frag, os dois de bracinho dado. Às vezes você não tá muito bem na partida, mas você resolve. 2 kills pro Nitro, meu amigo, é só o Perfecto, pegou de calça curta. 12 segundos, não tem tempo. Será se ele pensar demais, o jogador da Lix, olha aí, ó, olha aí. Meu amigo, ai, e acabou! O time da Liquid está 2-1, a Navi